Welcome back, viewers, to the latest researches and news. Before we get into today's update, there's something important I need to clear up first. The previous video we uploaded has been taken down. It covered a claim that later turned out to be clearly false, so we removed it to make sure incorrect information doesn't keep circulating to you. For that, I want to apologize. Now let's properly clear up what actually happened and explain the full picture correctly. The claim that spread was that a Tigray People's Liberation Front peace negotiating team had arrived in Addis Ababa and was about to hold talks with Olusegun Obasanjo and Uhuru Kenyatta on the implementation of the Pretoria Agreement. This claim originated from the Ethiopian official side, and it turned out to be a completely false and baseless narrative. This is exactly why we always tell you to treat single-source, officially linked claims with caution before treating them as fact, and in this case, that caution turned out to be justified. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. Ethiopian official sources have circulated similar reports before, claiming that secret talks were underway between the Tigray People's Liberation Front and the federal government, or that a negotiating team was traveling somewhere for discussions. At the time, the Tigray People's Liberation Front clearly rejected those claims, describing them as government propaganda. Now, a very similar narrative has surfaced again, but there is no solid proof behind it. Neither the Tigray People's Liberation Front nor any independent source has confirmed it. This looks like a controlled narrative, spread specifically to create confusion around the situation. A repeated pattern like this is genuinely useful information on its own when the same kind of unconfirmed claim from the same general source has already been proven false once before. That history should raise our skepticism the next time a similar claim appears, which is exactly what happened here. Realistically, go to peace talks right now? The real question worth asking is, why is the Tigray People's Liberation Front not actually in a position to move toward peace talks at this moment? There are several deep underlying reasons. The first reason involves the SIMDO alliance. SIMDO is an alignment reportedly involving the Tigray People's Liberation Front, Eritrea, and several other anti-Abiy groups. Eritrea has now become the Tigray People's Liberation Front's clear supporter. In early August, Eritrean officers were reportedly seen at the Zalambesa border, and there were reports of Eritrean heavy weapons being moved inside Tigray. Given how close this military and political alignment with Eritrea has become, it simply doesn't make strategic sense for the Tigray People's Liberation Front to suddenly turn around and begin direct peace talks with the federal government. Doing so would undercut the very alliance it has spent recent months building. The second reason involves alleged coordination with Fano. As we covered in Zemene Kase's own interview, he claimed that Fano had held discussions with several armed groups, including Tigrayan forces. Even if this hasn't become a fully formal alliance, there is clearly an active effort underway to build a broader anti-Abiy front. If the Tigray People's Liberation Front began peace talks with the federal government right now, it risks damaging its relationships with these other potential partners, Fano, and the other groups involved in that broader coordination. The Tigray People's Liberation Front isn't currently in a position where it can afford to upset its possible allies just to move closer to the federal government. The third reason is the Tigray People's Liberation Front's current strategic posture. The party has effectively declared the Pretoria Agreement dead in practice. It has restored its own 2020-era regional government. Western Tigray remains a red line for them. Debretion's own statements make clear that while he talks about keeping the door to negotiations open, his conditions remain extremely strict resolution of Western Tigray, an end to the economic blockade, and political recognition. Until the federal government shows serious flexibility on these specific points, entering talks simply isn't advantageous for the Tigray People's Liberation Front. Talking without any real concessions on the table would mean negotiating from a position of weakness, which doesn't fit with everything else we've seen from their recent posture. The fourth reason comes down to the current military balance. Forces on both sides remain mobilized. The Tigray People's Liberation Front has strengthened its position over recent weeks, and there are reports of limited support arriving from Eritrea. In a situation like this, neither side is willing to suddenly offer concessions. Peace talks typically happen when both sides are exhausted or under serious pressure. Right now, what we are seeing on both sides looks more like testing and positioning, not exhaustion. This is an important distinction to understand. Genuine negotiations tend to follow a period where both sides have reached a point of real cost or fatigue. Based on everything we've covered, the troop movements, the alliance building, and the continued clashes, neither side currently appears to have reached that point. So here's the overall picture. The peace talks claim that spread appears to be an Ethiopian official narrative, one that has been spread before and already proven false once. The Tigray People's Liberation Front currently cannot realistically move towards serious peace talks with the federal government, given its alignment with Eritrea, its possible coordination with Fano, and its own hardline position. Until the strategic balance shifts or major external pressure is applied, talks like this don't look realistic at this stage. This situation remains genuinely tense, and we should expect more claims and counterclaims to come from both sides. The real truth will become clear through actions on the ground and from the leadership itself, not simply from circulating reports like the one we corrected today. We'll continue to verify everything carefully before bringing it to you. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next update.